Hello everyone, welcome. This video is going to be in English. We are going to be talking about some of our friends who are from accounting background, from IT background, who are struggling to get their permanent residency. So I thought we'll do this video and to explain the general overview. So now the kind of clients that we get usually three kind of clients. One, who has got no idea about what is happening with the system, how to go from student visa to PR. So they have got no information at all. The second kind of clients that we get, they are the clients who have got some information. They have heard this from somewhere, a bit of that from somewhere. Their friends have told them one thing, their other friends have told them one thing. They've gone to one agent and learned something. Then they've gone to the other agent, then they have learned something new, and they combine all the information and have got a mishmash of all the information and still confused what to do. The third, they have gone online, they have done their own research, they know about the immigration system, how the things work. So now, the first kind of clients that I mentioned, people who come in who have got no idea and they are genuinely looking for the information, they are still fine. The third kind of people that I mentioned who have gone and done their own research, who know about how the system works, they are also good. But many times what I find and what we struggle is with the clients who have gone everywhere and have got a bit of this information and that information, they mash it together, they are the ones who are more confused about it. So what I thought was that we'll do a video and I'll explain the whole overview, all the options that you have if you're from the accounting or the IT background and what you can do about it. So bear this in mind, there is no magic bullet. It is not like if you come to me or you go to any other agent, they're going to tell you something magical and tomorrow you will get your permanent residency. It does not happen like that. It is a process. It takes its time and unfortunately it has become more difficult. So you have to be aware of the number of options they have. There is no magic visa option that will happen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the number of visas that are there. Okay. So in Australian immigration system, there are 5 kinds of permanent residency visas and only 5 different kinds. Okay. Let's go through those. So the first kind, skilled visas. Skilled visas. In that comes subclass 189, subclass 190, subclass 489. Your independent PR, your state-sponsored PR, your regional sponsorship PR, and your family-sponsored PR. The second category, employer-sponsored visas, in which your 457 visas, the old 457 visas, now it's subclass 482. So 457 is no longer there. Your employer-nominated visas, your RSMS visas, they come in. The third category after that are the partner visas. The fourth category after that, investor visas. And the last category are the protection visas. Now these are the only 5 category of visas. There is no other category of visas. Nobody can invent another visa category that will get you a permanent residency. These are the only 5 categories of visas. There are different visas under investor visas, partner visas if you're onshore, offshore. So there are different subclasses under each category, but broadly speaking, these are the 5 categories. Okay. So if you're not a refugee, if you don't have legitimate claims, you cannot. I don't suggest anybody to apply for this unless you have got a genuine reason to do that. Please don't apply for this. We get clients, especially for some reason Malaysian clients who come to us. For some reason, many of the Malaysian clients, they apply for this visa. Please don't do it if you don't have a legitimate reason for doing it. Okay? So protection visa is out. Investor visa is if you can invest at least $500,000 or $200,000 in some states. Then if you have a business history, there's other criteria, then you can apply for this. If you don't have that much money, you don't have a background in the business, then you cannot do this visa. Partner, if you're in a relationship for at least 12 months or married to an Australian permanent resident or citizen, then you can apply this visa. If you're not in a relationship, you can't do this visa as well. So at this point of time, 3 categories are out. Now we come to employer-sponsored visas. Employer-sponsored visas, under the new guidelines that have come out recently, I won't go into too much detail about it because this video is not about those employer-sponsored visas. I'm just saying, if you don't have at least 2 years of experience in your field, and there is not an employer who is willing to sponsor you, a legitimate sponsor, and there are other conditions as well, then you cannot do this visa. Okay? So if the 4 categories of visas are out, you are left with only these: 189, 190, 489. We have done a number of videos going in detail about how the point system works. You all know right now, even if you're at 75 or 80 points, the invitations are not coming for accountants. So what do? If this thing is not working out, then you have got just these 2 things available, right? So what are the options right now for accountant IT people? IT people have got a bit more options than accountants, but what are the 2 options? I'm going to discuss, let me write here. I'm going to discuss options for accountants, IT people for surplus 190 and 489. The way I see it, there are 4 options. One is New South Wales. The second is Canberra, ACT. Third is Tasmania. Fourth is Northern Territory. If you don't have got a good number of years behind you, then Victoria you cannot do. So New South Wales, Canberra, Tasmania, Northern Territory. For New South Wales, for IT people especially, if you've got 70 points, you have got a realistic chance of getting a nomination from New South Wales for IT. For accountants, I would say you need at least 75, 80 points, and then also it's a bit difficult to get an invitation. So New South Wales, if you're in a high point category, you've got 70, 75, 80 points of your own, you can try for that. So that will give you a chance. For Canberra and Tasmania, Canberra gives you 190, Tassie gives you 489, and Darwin, which is Northern Territory, gives you 489 as well. Now 489, as many of you know, is a provisional PR. It's not a proper PR. You get a 489 visa after 2 years. It becomes a proper PR if you fulfill the requirements of 489 visa, okay? So keeping that in mind, what are the requirements? Let's talk about Canberra first. Canberra, you study there for 1 year, you stay there for 1 year, and you work in any NCESCO skill level 1 to 4 job and give them 2 pay slips. You give them 2 pay slips. So these are the requirement, okay? In Tassie, you study for 1 year, you stay for 1 year, right? And after that, after 1 year, you'll be eligible to apply for 489 visa. Now, there's another thing you can do in Canberra as well as in Tasmania. I'm going into all the details, but these are very important for you, so please pay attention to this. There are other options if you don't want to study there. In Canberra, they say if you find a job in your nominated occupation, so you work in that job for 6 months. In Tassie, you work in any occupation for 3 months. In Darwin, you work in a related occupation for 6 months. 6 months in your occupation, 3 months in any occupation, and 6 months in related occupation. In your occupation, when it says in Canberra, it means that if you're an accountant, you work as an accountant. You have to work as an accountant, then you're eligible. Any job means any job, skill level job, okay? 6 months in Northern Territory in related means that if you're an accountant, you can work as a bookkeeper. You can work as a tax accountant. So it doesn't have to be accountant as per se, which covers a whole gamut of responsibilities. It can be related occupation. So these are 3 options that we tell our students to do. Some prefer this option, some prefer this option, some prefer this option. But this is all that is to there if you're not willing to do a trade course. Okay? If you're saying that I'm not going to do a trade course, I'm going to stick to this thing, then you need at least 70 to 75 to 80 points, depending on IT and accounting, to have a realistic go at this. If you're struggling to make even 70 points, then what I would personally suggest, don't waste your precious temporary residency visa on going after these things. For now, unfortunately for IT and accountants, 8 each in IELTS or equivalent score in PT has become a compulsory thing. If you're not having that, it's gonna become very, very difficult. So if you don't have that, right? If you don't have 70, 75, 80 points, if you're struggling with it, don't waste your temporary residency visa. These are only the options that you have. These are the options that you have, all right? I hope this helps. There's no magic bullet. The immigration system is trying to push you towards regional areas now. 189 is gonna become increasingly difficult. So 489 visas, 190 visas, but mostly 489 visas. That's where the push is going. Even for the trade occupations we have seen, 189 visa is not coming that easily. You have done a trade course, you have worked for 12 months, you have your skill assessment, even then 189 visa independent PR is a bit difficult if you don't have 70 points on your own. At least till June. It might change after June, I don't know. So there also, they are doing 489 visas. You apply for 489 visas, we have been getting invitation in 10 days time for New South Wales regional area in the trade occupation field. I hope this helps you. I really hope, because I find a lot of students, because they are desperate, going from one agent to the second agent to the third agent to the fourth agent. There is no magic bullet. You have to work hard if you're sticking with IT or accounting. You have to work hard. 8 each, 70, 75, 80 points. So I hope this helps. Then again, every individual case is different. If you want to discuss your case, you can book an appointment. Our number is there. Our office is in 200 Queen Street, Melbourne CBD. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope you have a good weekend ahead. Thank you and goodbye.